Foolish destiny thieves, you are not equipped to walk within my divine destiny. So ain't no way there could be no destiny swap. And I'm going to break it down to why. Stop. This is an immediate trigger warning. Do not go any further in this video. This is a trigger warning. You need to click off now. Click off now. To steal somebody's destiny, you would literally have to go through the same exact trauma as them and then heal from that trauma. And then be able to teach from that healed space to help others who have been in that same trauma. Let's get into it. Peaceful greetings and welcome back to my channel. So I want to give a quick disclaimer that this video is actually going to be quite triggering. So if you are unhealed or unable to hear very graphic things, and yeah, this video is going to be highly triggering to those individuals who are not ready to hear such conversations. Okay, the other thing I want to address is that I am not going to be stating any of this in a form or fashion for people to become trauma bonded to me, or in a way that is unhealthy and looking for some kind of sympathy, whatever. If people would like to empathize, okay, that's great. However, I want people to know that these situations I have actually completely healed from, and they hold no kind of traumatic triggering response or anything to that nature and effect. So I will be stating these things so that we can use them as teachable moments, and also for other people who are on a healing journey to be able to heal, and for those that have come up against high vibrational beings, chosen ones, light workers, star seeds, indigos, those who work in high vibrations to alleviate or integrate shadows, all of those types of things that are done in the dark, but for the quote unquote good of coming into healing, right? Then, these things can be utilized for that. So there have been a lot of attacks on the, chosen ones, anointed, high vibrational beings' destinies. Okay. And so what I want to address with this, okay, and this is part of the reason why it's going to be so triggering, because the chosen, somebody's trying to mess with my throat chakra. The chosen individuals that have answered the call, right, so to speak, many are called, few are chosen. And the chosen ones have actually went through some of the most traumatic, horrific things, okay? And they try to mess with my throat chakra. The devil is a lie today, tomorrow, and always. These real living devils have no authority or consent to mess with my throat chakra. Okay, so when these people or entities, beings, feel that they can take someone's destiny, okay, they actually cannot do that. Now, let me tell you why. They, might get, people to sell their souls and, get on, certain substances and get strung out on drugs and things like that, where they forfeit whatever their true calling was supposed to be. And sometimes those things are actually a part of the journey for them to actually get on the path of whatever their calling is, okay? And sometimes that is, you know, the road to destruction that they never recover from, okay? So the point is that these beings feel like they're coming up against chosen ones, and that they can do their little hocus pocus, hoodoo voodoo, death spells against, you know, people's inheritance, their destinies, and all of these things. The problem with this is when they feel that they have swapped out someone's destiny, they have to realize that, one, there's only one unique individual. So they attempt to harvest the essence, the you know, energetic signature, and all of these things for whoever they're attempting to put all of that energy, essence, and destiny on, okay? But let me paint it to you guys like this, okay? I'm cooking right now. Let me cook. I'm really cooking. So an individual that is chosen, like I stated, they go through some of the most traumatic things. And part of the reason that they go through these things is so they will then have the experience to know what it feels like, okay, to actually have been in that situation firsthand, and then how to actually come up out of it and overcome it, okay? So then they can have what Christians or religious people would call a testimony. There's not a testimony without a test, without a trial, without going through something, okay? So they go through it, come up out of it, overcome it, and then they can give the formula to success. They can give the, you know, correct and proper information, knowledge, and wisdom to come up out of that deep, dark depression, to come out of the shame and guilt and energies of molestation, of abuse, physical torture and abuse, right? Mental and emotional abuse, right? You know, and in my case, you know, all of the aforementioned and then some, right? So these people, if they want to swap destinies, they gotta go through the trauma to actually be in, and then they're still not, they still can't swap the destiny. You wanna know why? Because they have a whole different expression of, if they even can overcome those things, right? They're gonna have a different expression and insight and testimony, perspective, right? Creative delivery is going to be different than what the original individual they were attempting to destiny swap with was doing and going to do. So it's still going to be different, even if they end up going through all the trauma because they wanted to destiny swap. So you think that you're gonna actually go through and just take somebody's end result and glory, right? It's like this. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a different analogy. So me as an elite master fitness expert, right? And you know, getting literally thousands of people to their fitness goals, right? That would be like somebody coming to me as like a fitness magician, okay? And they're like, ooh, this woman's body over here, oh, her body is so right and tight and fit, and you know, she's the Coca-Cola bottle shape, she's got everything in the right place. You did all that magic on her and she's looking great, right? Okay, now they want that woman's body without any of the hard work that, you know, I led and taught that woman how to do to get that body, right? Okay, so they just want to take a shortcut. Okay, well, I'm not the one to give them that quote unquote. I mean, there are ways to getting fit quicker than others if you have a time crunch, right? But it still takes that much more discipline and dedication to get there. Okay, so anyways, the point is, they're like, okay, so I'm just gonna go take this pill, I'm just gonna go you know, get this plastic surgery, I'm just gonna, you know, get some liposuction and stuff like that, right? And then 10 years down the road, the same mofo is back in my office, my fitness office, because they never stopped eating poorly. They never gained the proper habits to actually keep that body the way that it's supposed to be. Now they got hypertension, they got diabetes, they got all these other things, right? And they have weird pockets of fat from that liposuction, because when they gain the fat's not going to come back in the places that they got that fat sucked out. It's going to come in between those spaces where the fat can still come back. And guess what? Now they're looking like a weird ass monster, because that liposuction left little pockets of where the fat can come back, and now they got these weird goiter looking like lumps of fat in weird ass places. Okay, so now they're looking like hideous monster with all these. So what I'm saying is that spiritually, that's what these people are doing. Okay, there are no quote unquote quick fixes to it, right? Yeah, you can do the superficial things, right? Yeah, you can think that you took you know, somebody's destiny when you took their trauma so you could get to the experience of the enlightenment and where they have arrived at. Baby, you gotta go through the journey. So this is where, you know, is a trigger warning. You didn't hold your dead baby. Okay, speaking of, if you want to take on my destiny, those that know me know that I had a daughter that passed away when I was 38 weeks pregnant. Now, I thought I was 17, but when the maths and these people told me the wrong age, I was actually had to have been 12. Okay, 12 years old. Which Miss Dolores Diane Dee Sunshine Hartley Smith Barnes has some explaining to do about that, because she would have had that information and completely knowledgeable about my actual age when she actually signed off on me to be married at 12, you know, to my ex-husband. We got married in Vegas, but I thought I was 17. Okay, and to my knowledge, so did he. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, the absolute point of all of this is that there are things that the chosen have went through that specifically prepared them to be in the place and space that they have been anointed, ordained, whatever you want to call it, and prepared to be in that area of expertise to help others heal, to help others level up on their spiritual, physical journey. And there ain't no one, I don't care how good your magic is, that can actually take somebody's true destiny, because it will never be the same. Right? You're trying to take their success. You want to take the glory end of it. But the way that they would express it, the way that they would come through, right? Like, you know what comes to mind when I'm thinking of this is Aaliyah. Who else comes to mind? Tupac. Shakur. You know who else comes to mind? Selena. No one has come and done what their expressions would have creatively been based on their unique and divine creative expression. It's, now did they sell their souls, to allow for that? It's possible. Most likely, yes. But for the chosen star seeds, indigos, light workers, high vibrational beings that have not, they got whole armies of angels and ancestors who only want the best for them, that are guarding them and their path to expressing and living out their divine purpose. And they have not done, anything for like selling their souls for anyone else to be able to have consent to take on their destiny. And if anyone thought that they had consent to attempt to take my destiny, baby, we burning all consent for destiny swapping with regards to me. We burning that with 9 ether fire immediately. All those contracts are burned. I don't know what you thought. These people are so obsessed with what other people, are doing or have or whatever. It goes back to like, you can't walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. You would faint. You would die. You would have given up. You don't know what other people had to go through. You don't know the battles that they had to fight. to get to the place of peace of where they're at, of peace. You'll know the toxicity that they had to exterminate out of their life. The betrayals that they had to, you know, come to terms with. That these people had no good intentions in their being towards them. Smile in their face. Smile in their face. Whole time they wanna take your place. Them backstabbers. Smile in your face. Whole time they wanna take your place. They, you know, that's what some of these people do. So I'm gonna tell you like this. There have been straight up whole organizations, whole communities, churches, covens that have come up against me and have failed at every attempt to use me as one of their blood sacrifices. Thank God. I thank the gods of my righteous, holy, and pure ancestors and the goddesses of my righteous, holy, and pure ancestors that these people have failed. I have a wonderful, and I want to give thanks to my wonderful spiritual team. My entire spiritual team. Yeah, because they're amazing. But anyways, there's no way that you could live my destiny when you have not been through the trauma to get the insight, to get the knowledge, to get the experience, to get the wisdom. They trying to mess with my throat chakra again. Fuck y'all. So to get the wisdom that experience, the wisdom, okay, that will assist other people. Listen, there's this story, right? Because I've read a lot of the, motivational books and stuff. And I forget what book this was in, right? But it had to do, this story had to do with experience, okay? And so this story was something to the effect that, you know, this building had a plumbing issue, and they called out all the local plumbers, and nobody could fix this situation. It just kept occurring. The problem just kept occurring. Okay, whatever the problem was, I forget what it was, but anyway, so they finally call in this expert, right? And the expert, you know, here's what they say the problem is. He's like, okay, well, show me where these pipes are. So they take him down into the basement, and they're like, and he's like looking around. He sees the exposed, you know, pipes and everything and the whole system. And he goes over and he says, your problem is here. He puts an X mark on the spot. He told him what needed to be done, and he proceeds to leave, to walk out, because his job was done. It took him like, you know, maybe less than 2 minutes. And they were like, wait, you know, that's it, you know, you're finished, and we're gonna pay you all this money, and it only took you, you know, a few minutes to figure out where it was at, and He said, you're not paying me for my time. You're paying me for the experience and my knowledge to know where your problem is at, where exactly your problem is at. And that experience and knowledge took me 20 years to gain, to know that problem would be right there. So you're paying me for the experience of 20 years to know that that's where it's at and to market correctly. Okay? And so the experience that the chosen ones have is priceless. And you ain't paying us for the time it takes, you know, like we're it's not trading, as they say, what's that, time for dollars for time. We've already been through the experience. We know where the problem is at. You know what I'm saying? And we could take that little Sharpie and mark it. You know. So I'm just saying, you haven't been through, and even if you have been through some similar situations, your insight, knowledge, and experience is going to be expressed and perceived, and you will perceive the experience different from me, so that your insight, maybe there might be similar insights, right? But the expression is going to be uniquely your own, if you're not just straight up being a copycat, or you're just not, actually lying. And there's another video that I want to do about this whole copycat stuff, because some of some of it I see it as, necessary. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a whole different perspective on this whole copycat stuff, because when you start getting into like becoming the greatest version of yourself, it's not necessarily meaning that you're supposed to take on, somebody else's character or whatever. However, when there are specific parts of life that you want to change, right? You're actually supposed to surround yourself with those types of people and energies. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. My fitness clients, I would, let them know I would have them get their entire family on board with fitness, whoever was in their household. Okay, because it's easier if the whole house is fit rather than having a wife getting fit and the husband still bringing in potato chips, okay, because then that's going to, hinder her getting fit. Vice versa with the husband or children or whatever the case may be. Okay, if you want to become an entrepreneur, then you need to start surrounding yourself, going to entrepreneurial mixers and networking events, and go to the places that the business professionals hang out. You need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, so that not necessarily you're copying them, right, per se, but you're surrounding yourself with people that have that mindset that you can, then basically kind of like what they say with learning a language, submerging yourself in the environment, right? Like going to a country that you want to learn the language, and then you learn because you're submerged. It's all around you, and so this whole copycat thing, as a fitness expert, I absolutely loved for people to copy me, and copy me exactly. I got paid for these people to copy me. Right? I would demonstrate and exercise. Let's break it down. I would tell them what exercise I was going to have them do. I would demonstrate the exercise. Then I would talk them through aligning their body properly in the proper, stance, in the proper form, get them in the proper form. So their body and their kinetic chain was in alignment. Feet shoulder width apart, shoulders back, chest up, right? Neutralize whether they had a pelvic tilt. Go through all the checkpoints of the body. Make sure they're straight. Kinetic chain in alignment. And then have them copy the exercise that I just did. They got to copy it. And the better they copy me, the safer their exercise is going to be, right? The better their repetition is going to be, which is maximizing their result, because we're maximizing every last single rep that they do. Okay, I'll have them do what I would call super reps. They called me the form Nazi in 2 different gyms. I was very critical on form. But this whole copy thing, right? People, they, in business, there a lot of times, if you're doing a business that's already been done before, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, as they say. You could utilize what's already been done and then make it your own. Okay, I hate to use fast food as a point of reference, but this would be like, you got all these different burger places, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, right? They're all still making a burger, okay, but they got their own spin on it. So are they copying each other? I got paid to have people copy me. Thousands of people have copied me. I got paid to train other trainers. I gave classes to other trainers. I gave classes to doctors, to patient advocates. I did speeches, at these, different hospitals. And informing them and educating them on how fitness could positively affect their industries, their businesses, their jobs, their lives. They say when people copy you, it is, a compliment. It is a form of flattery that they're copying you. In certain things, right? There are certain industries people need to copy each other. So you go to phlebotomy, school, and you better be copying the teacher of how to hit that vein right, and do what you got to do to put an IV. I'm not really down with people drawing blood, but that's a whole nother video. But I'm just saying, okay? There have been numerous failed attempts to attempt to steal my destiny, my essence, my intuition, all kinds of stuff. But it's these people, they just don't get that there's no way that these people can do that and if they thought that they did, right? Because some of these people that, you know, they start celebrating, they think they done did something. And then all this, you know, traumatic stuff starts happening to them. You can, if you want to be on that path that I have been on, then you have to go through the experiences so you can gain. I'm going to tell you guys another analogy, right? So you guys can kind of get what I'm talking about at a deeper level. So there's two monks. They're walking across the bridge, and the one monk is very experienced and knows, you know, the river and everything about the water, right? That's under this bridge. Okay, so the other monk, you know, they cross it one day, and he's asking, well, how cold is the water? And you know, the monk doesn't say anything. Then they cross it again, and the other monk that's not experienced, he asks, well, how deep does the water go? You know, and so he has all these questions, and this is kind of how it is with life, you know, in general, and people, you know, wanting to know different things and aspects about life, okay? And so, you know, they go across it, and he was like, well, is it sand at the bottom or is it rocks, you know? And he just has all these questions, okay? Think of all the questions you could ask about what could be the I guess you could say the significance of whatever was in the makeup of whatever the water is, or the, you know, the environment of whatever that is that you could ask the questions about. Okay, that's what this individual who was a new monk was asking, right? And so, you know, one day they're walking across the bridge, and you know, the monk asked another question, and the other monk that was experienced just pushed him in. And immediately the other monk, based on the experience of now being inside of that water, being able to feel how deep or shallow that water is, he now knew all the answers to those questions because he experienced it. Okay? Confirmation with the horn blowing in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Shit was like, eh. So I'm just saying, I do not wish what I have been through on anybody, because most of these motherfuckers would not make it. Okay? However, the ones that did, you know, try to do that hocus pocus and bobbity boo, you know, to get that, you know, they're going to be getting those experiences. Good luck with that. However, they thought that they were going to be getting the end result, the glory, the fit body, so to speak, okay? Without doing any of the work. They seen that chick with the, you know, BBL, all natural without the BBL, you know? And they was like, ooh, they want that. But they didn't put in any of the work. They didn't do their crunches. They didn't do, you know, their lunges. They didn't do their, you know, skiers. They didn't do nothing. They didn't do no elliptical. They didn't do no jump rope. They didn't run up them hills backwards. They didn't rollerblade. They didn't do none of it. But they wanted everything. But you ain't done nothing to get everything. You didn't put in no work. You didn't put in no work. So how then do you feel like it's like this too? How, if you have not, you know, helped thousands of people, right? How then would you have the experience to speak on, what you have found. You want to speak on certain topics, but you don't have the experience or have collected the data of already have helped thousands of people. So certain things become, you'll become aware of with, helping so many people. Things will just become apparent in the process, right? And those things you can't just read in a book, because you're not going to have the depth of the wisdom and the understanding from the insight that you've gained, because you haven't gained no insight, because you didn't go through it. So you can speak from a superficial level about stuff and regurgitate other shit you done heard or read in a book. But I'm gonna give you guys another example. I was in this AP honors class for English, and this was just an elective class actually that I had, because I had already gained all of the units that I needed to graduate. So I'm just taking, basically bullshit classes, because I could have graduated early. Okay, so I'm in this class, and this teacher had us do an assignment, and there was one chick in the class that she just seemed like she wanted to be like a little Miss Know-It-All. She was already in a college course, so she thought she was big shit, because she was a senior in high school, but she was already in college, taking college classes. Okay, so she goes up and I had already done like my paper or whatever, and people were reacting pretty well to what I had said or whatever. But then this chick goes up and she does hers, and she's like attempting to state all of these mistruths and things about, I'm just gonna say it, the foster care system. Okay, it was specifically about foster care, and she was in a class that was dealing with I believe it was like social services or something like that. Anyways, I forget what the class was that she was in college, but it was like just one class or two classes. But anyways, so she's trying to say all of these statistics and facts, allegedly, but all of her information had come out of books and things that she had read or gathered online or whatever. And when I corrected her, she wanted to act like she was more knowledgeable than me, because she was in a college class and she had gotten this information from books. I said, baby girl, I don't give a what book you done read that out of. I'm living it. I was actually in the foster care system from the age of 9, actually younger than that. If you do the math, I guess I had to have been 4. 9, we'll just say 9 to keep it simple, till I emancipated myself at 17, which had to have been 12. The math is so crazy. But anyways, the point is, I emancipated myself from the foster care system. But the point is that this chick thought because she had read something in a book that she could speak on something that I was actually living in real life. that wasn't a part of no book. And I knew the ins and outs of the system because I was living in it. You know, you can't tell somebody something from a book that's actually lived it. You know what I mean? Now, somebody that's actually knowledgeable about whatever it is. You know, because if they ain't knowledgeable, I was highly aware, of the system and knowledgeable. So I was like, baby girl, you ain't going to tell me or think that you know more than me when I know for a fact I see these fake ass judges and, workers, all these people that's getting paid off of me being in this corrupt ass system. I wasn't cussing, we was in class, but I'm just saying. I basically checked her in front of the whole class, and the class definitely agreed with what I was saying because they already knew that I had been through. I was in the system. They already knew I was in foster care. So the experience, the perception, the awareness, the moments of aha, the insight that the experience gives to the individual is something that is unique. There's a situation that happens, right? And you have hundreds of witnesses. Everyone is going to have their own perspective and say what they seen based on their own perspective of what they seen. Everybody's going to describe that, differently. Whatever that event was. Are there going to be similarities to, people's take on whatever that, event was? Yeah, sure. Could a few people come up with the same thing? Possibly. But for the most part, everybody's going to have their own unique expression, unless they just cookie cutter clones of what that is. But anyways, I'm not going to, as they say, I'm not going to run it up. I'm going to end this message here because it's been long enough, and I'm actually going to put the stuff that I've been making on the stove. And anyways, if you need anything else from me, go ahead and check out the description, because my 2 websites, my activity ebook, as well as my CashApp, PayPal. I had to add my PayPal because CashApp was kind of tripping. Yeah, we'll speak on that another time, because that's like a whole nother video. Anyways, so you can find everything else, especially like Nieve Tigre's new YouTube channel link. All that will be in the description. And let's see, what else do I gotta tell you guys? Oh, don't let these haters make you think that they could take over what is destined for you, what you're called to do, because they cannot. It's I'm telling you, they think that they are doing something, but they really not. They about to send themselves either jail, hell, or they doing stuff that's just ridiculous. But what they're not going to be able to do is obstruct or block. They're failing at any attempts, which is exposing them and freeing you more and more. It's like they're digging these graves to put chosen ones in, but you know, they've fallen into them, and the ones that the chosen ones go into, they're not realizing that they're actually seeds and growing to be beautiful big ass bamboo plants. You know, as they say, they tried to bury us, but they forgot that we were seeds. They forgot that we're actually like connected to this planet. They forgot that our melanin photosynthesizes. They forgot that, you know, so we are part of this planet. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you want to call it, the firmament. We are part of nature. We are directly connected to, you know, nature. We're directly connected to the sun. We're directly connected to the source. You know. And these energy vampires, they're not connected. So they not only attempt to steal our energy and harvest our energy, but they try to take things that are ours. But they're not realizing that they just taken the traumatic experience so they could get to the inside. And most of them ain't even going to be able to make it through because they wasn't built for that. They was not built for that mission. And they're going to find out that they wasn't built for that mission. It's unfortunate. So anyways, like I said, if you need anything else from me, it will be in the description. If you would like to make love offerings to the channel, you can do so by my PayPal now. And if you cannot make love offerings via financial means, because financial means do not allow for that, then you can always do things that are completely free, which is liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel, sharing the channel to your friends and family, and commenting, because commenting, you know, also helps the algorithm, and sharing that with other people that need to hear this message. Okay? And maybe you want to add in what your experience has been with people that thought that they were going to destiny swap with you, or you know, the different because we ain't trauma bonding over here. I'm not saying none of this to trauma bond with people. I'm saying this because people need to hear that the things that we went through is part of our story, part of our unique path to be in the place of triumph, victory, and glory, but only after overcoming it, only after healing from all that stuff and gaining the wisdom and insight. Okay, so anyways, you know what to do. Kanye West said, traumatized to monetize. Traumatized to monetize. Now, unlike pastors would want you to believe, God don't need no money. So it ain't really about monetization with the Most High. It's actually about people going through the trauma, healing, and then being able to heal as many people as they possibly can. So chosen ones are the ones that went through that. These other mofos, they are not built. They are not built for the mission. They are also not equipped for the mission. They are ill-prepared. And that's why most of these motherfuckers is on drugs and alcoholics today. Because they couldn't even face the bullshit they did go through. They can't even face those demons that they did encounter. So they have failed in their own missions, in their own lives. They have failed to fulfill their own seats. As I did that video before, they have left their own seats vacant. They have not filled and fulfilled their own purposes, because they have purposes too, right? So they got the call and they sat that one out and decided to be in the evil, diabolical, wicked side. But it was free will. It was their choice, and that's what they chose. And then they wanted to come and attempt to steal other people's hard work and destinies, and failed to swap out based off of failed sacrifices, right? And not do, they basically didn't want to do any of the fucking work, but get all of the glory, all of the harvest from somebody else doing all the work. The devil is a goddamn lie. The devil is a lie. They a lie. And that's not what's going down. Because what they didn't expect is that these chosen ones would be so strong, and they ain't dealing with no punks. We will fight them in real motherfucking life, and in the spiritual, and in the astral planes, and any other portal dimension they want to bring the shit to. But guess what? The war and battle has already been won. The victory is still rendering. And these motherfuckers is so dazed by the actual win that they ain't even comprehending that they already done lost. It's like a chicken running around with their head cut off. They don't know their head has already been cut off, and they still running around. Their head has already been cut off, and they running around like that chicken with its head cut off, not realizing that the victory has already been won.